Well, I'd say we'd seen this coming, but not to this extent. Post, shall we say, the not only just post the referendum, but during the referendum, we were making the argument continuously. Look, if we leave the EU, we are going to face some very specific problems. One of them being that we are going to be a lot less attractive, shall we say, to scientists. And if you know anything about the page or the group Scientists for EU, they have constantly been making the case that, look, we are now a lesser scientific power. We are no longer on the level of even like EU countries or anywhere else because, well, our government just hasn't been investing in science really that much. Most of the investment has come from the EU, and now we are no longer in the EU. The question is as always remains, where are we going to get that money? Because the Conservatives do not seem very willing at all to be able to stump up the money for some of the big scientific, not only challenges, but problems of the day, not only just in climate change, but around a host of all other things as well, even into general research. And instead, their answer was, oh, we'll just give tax breaks to R&D for, private sector to do it. That'll be fine. But that's not the case. Private companies, even though they do R&D research, it's not very, shall we say, as often or in depth as, shall we say, non-private funded sector research often is, because obviously, again, the private sector is looking at that cost risk analysis. And if research looks maybe it might be a bit too expensive to do at this moment, then they simply won't do it. And this has caused the government to come up with this brand new scheme to try and attract Nobel Prize winners to the UK. And to no one's surprise, it has failed to attract a single applicant. So before we go in to find out more about this and just how embarrassing this really is for the UK, please do remember to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And of course, down below, there are links to my Patreon page and one of today's link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can, buy me coffee. And as always, thank you very much to all those people who do support the channel. And also later on this evening, at 7 o'clock, probably an hour just from this video being released, we will be having a live stream with a guy called Gareth Dennis, who is a rail engineer. We are going to talk all things HS2 and NPR, or Northern Rail Powerhouse. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be very good. I think very, very interesting for everyone else. So I'll see you all there in a bit. But on with today's article. So this comes from The Guardian. The title is Post-Brexit Scheme to Lure Nobel Winners to the UK Fails to Attract a Single Applicant. A post-Brexit scheme to draw the world's most celebrated academics and other leading figures to the UK has failed to attract a single applicant in the 6 months since it's opened, it has been reported. The visa route open to Nobel laureates and other prestigious global prize winners in the field of science, engineering, humanities, medicine, and among others, was described as a complete joke by experts after ministers admitted it had failed to even garner any interest. Chances of even a single Nobel or Turing laureate would move to the UK to work are completely zero for the next decades or so. The Nobel Prize winner, Andre Glim, told the New Science magazine, who first reported the news. The University of Manchester academic, who had been awarded the Nobel Prize for Physics back in 2010 for his work on graphene, added this: the scheme itself is a joke. It cannot be discussed seriously. The government thinks that if you pump up the UK science with verbal diarrhea of optimism, you can somehow become a self-fulfilling prophecy. As part of the scheme announced back in May, winners of some of the most prestigious global prizes were offered a fast track to the global talent visa, allowing them to live and work in the UK without having to fulfill other criteria. For scientists, the program covered Nobel Prize in Physics, Chemistry, or Medicine, and the foreseen International Prize for while mathematicians were just the Fields Medal were listed. Those from competing engineering or social scientists had the very helpful or eligible prizes, while the Brit Award was also on the list. The Home Office said at the time of the announcement that people on the global talent visa route had to apply through one of its 6 endorsing bodies, whereas the prestigious award route would allow applicants who hold a qualifying fast track of the endorsement application instead to make a single visa application. The Home Secretary, Priti Patel, hailed it as a way of allowing the best and brightest to come to the UK. She said these important challenges will give them the freedom to come and work in our world-leading arts, sciences, music, and film industries as we build back better. This is exactly what our new point-based immigration system was designed for, trying to attract the best and brightest based on the skills and talent that they have, not where they come from. But 6 months later, the New Scientist has reported, citing a government response to its Freedom of Information request, that not one person working in science, engineering, the humanities, or even medicine has applied. Frankly, having precisely 0 people apply for this elitist scheme doesn't surprise me at all. The magazine quoted Jessica Wade, a leading scientist at Imperial College London, saying, UK scientists have access to the European funding is uncertain. We're not very attractive to European students as they now have to pay international fees. Our pensions are being cut, and the scientific positions in the UK are both rare and precarious. The Shadow Minister for Science and Labour's Chi Ohun, I think that's how you say it, added, "It is very clear that this is just another gimmick for the government that overspends and underdelivers. It is not surprising that the government has failed so comprehensively to attract scientists from abroad, given their complete lack of consistent support for scientists here." The Home Office told the New Scientist that the programme makes it easier for those at the, quote, pinnacle of their career to come to the UK. It is just one option under a global talent route through which we have received thousands of applicants since its launch in February of 2020, and this continues to rise. And yet, I'm surprised they haven't actually listed what that is, to be honest. But again, should we be surprised about this? No, not at all. This was predicted all the way back to 2016. The second you do this, the second you cut ties with Europe, bang, boom, we lose a ton of European funding. And like I say, the UK government, for at least since austerity, has not even been interested in either supporting UK science in any way, shape, or form, nor have they done anything which could, again, help scientists here in the UK. So why do you want to track someone who might be, as they say, at the peak of their career, who might be working very well in, let's say, France, Germany, maybe in the US, maybe in Canada, who knows where we're from around the world? Why on earth would they suddenly want to up sticks and come to the UK when, as was said there by an actual scientist, that the positions here in the UK are not only incredibly rare because, again, of lack of funding from the government, but also incredibly precarious. And again, to quote the Labour shadow science guy, it's just another way for Johnson to try and spin this and yet massively underdeliver on this. This has once again been a colossal failure and is an absolute it's absolutely shambolic, to be honest. It is right. It is a complete joke, and it just really goes to show you just how pathetic this government is when it comes to trying thinking up like post-Brexit schemes to make the UK more attractive. The way we make the UK more attractive, we go back into the European Union. You know, that's probably the only way it's going to happen. But as always, thank you very much for watching. Please do remember to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And of course, down below there are links to my Patreon page and a one-off donation link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can, well, buy me coffee. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all next time.